Well, hello there. Over the past couple of weeks or months, we've been playing a bit of Factorio every now and then, both just offline, but also on our streams. And by we, I mean my good buddy Illogical and I. And one question that's been coming up during the streams a lot is, hey, how do your trains work? Because trains in Factorio are a fantastic thing, but in the past I've always been a little bit annoyed by having to set up schedules for each train, for each station, and you know, when you set up a new factory or you hook up a new mine or a new oil depot, then you have to adjust your schedules and everything. And that always seemed kind of tedious, but we've figured out a system which is not unique. You know, a lot of people are using this, so it's not something that we invented, but that works really well for us. Doesn't need any complicated circuit logic or anything like that, and it just works. Let me show you a schedule for one of our trains. And this whole schedule is, hey, go to a station called Item Pickup and fill up your cargo inventory. And this train is part of a train group that has currently 96 trains in it. All of these trains have this same schedule. And then, you know, a couple so-called interrupts. This is new to Factorio Space Age, as far as I understand, which do the magic. But let's focus on this part first. So which stations are called Item Pickup? Well, any station here where something can be picked up. Let's say up here, there's a lot of uranium that can be picked up. In fact, if we look at the station, we see we have 68 stations that have the same name. Now, how does the train know which station they can go to? So on each station, what we do is we connect a wire from the chests on the station across all the chests that belong to a certain station. Ignore the additional chests here. We had a little bit of a storage problem with uranium ore. Anyway, connect the wire to the station itself. And then the station says, hey, only enable this station if we have more uranium ore than a certain number. This is usually the stack size times 80, because that's what fits into a train car with 2 wagons. So we only want to activate stations where there's enough in there that a train can come and pick it up, so that a train can get a full load. So let me just, for example, for this train, let's activate it, see what it does. Well, first of all, it says, hey, I don't actually have enough fuel. I only had 3 units of fuel, so it's going to a refueling station. This is one of our interrupts down here, this one that says, hey, if your rocket fuel is less than 10, go to the station refueling until you're fully fueled, which is what this train is currently doing. Now, it's on its way to an item pickup station. And, of course, I no idea where it's going because it's all kind of automatically doing that. So I hope we have something that we can actually show up. So it's coming here to an iron mine, picking up a bunch of iron ore, filling up with that. And now it's looking for a station with the name iron ore, down arrow, it's a little bit hard to see, and then the Novice planet symbol, which is just a so for any delivery stations, we have a little bit of a naming scheme. They all have the item as the first icon, and then a down arrow for cargo drop, and then the planet icon because we're using trains on each planet, so we don't get confused. But it's kind of a little bit you can do whatever you want kind of thing. So how did this temporary stop for the unloading appear here? So this is done by the next interrupt called cargo drop here. So this cargo drop interrupt says, if you have full cargo inventory, go to a station with this weird green symbol, down arrow, planet Novice, and stay there until you have an empty cargo inventory. This is the magical symbol here. This green placeholder symbol is basically, if we go into the station menu here in the interrupt selection, You can find that in the unsorted category. This is the item parameter. Special wildcard signal. When used in schedule interrupt, it will match the first item that passes all wait condition and replace the signal with that item. This also replaces the rich text tag in the target stop name. Now, in good Factorio manner, a completely helpful and confusing tooltip at the same time. So what it basically does, it checks the cargo inventory of the train. The first item it finds replaces this symbol in our station name with the symbol of the item that they found. So here the target station would be placeholder drop planet. So here now we see the iron ore icon. Okay, then the next question is, how does the system know which station it needs to go to? Well, obviously, for the drop-off stations, we need to do something similar that we had for the pickup stations. So first of all, we of course need to have the names, but you also see we have 14 iron drop-off stations. So again, we have some conditions here when a station is enabled. In this case, we want to have less than 8,000 iron ore in these chests, because the main idea is we want to be able to have enough room in our chest so we can unload a full train load and send the train back on their way. I don't want to have a train with a half load sitting here, blocking the train station basically, and waiting for it to unload. Trains on a pickup station sitting around, not having anywhere to go, that's fine. That is part of the system. That is kind of fine. You see here our red chips trains, nowhere to go, nobody needs red chips at the moment. And if nobody needs it, then there's no point this train driving somewhere else and then having another train come in and pick up a load of red chips that are not needed anywhere. Right, so this is basically a little bit a demand-based system, but also a little bit a supply-based system, because stations will only make themselves available if they have enough for a full train load. The third interrupt we haven't talked about yet. So interrupts trigger whenever a train is basically done at a station, and it checks all the interrupt conditions, are any of those met, and it does this first. So we have the refueling one, which is, if your fuel is low, go and refuel. Cargo drop, if you have full cargo, go to a station with the name of your cargo icon until you're empty. And then we have this other one here, which says, if your destination is full, or you have no path to your destination, go to a station called a depot. Now, what do we need that for? Let's say a train delivers cargo somewhere, and all pickup stations are currently full or not available. We want them to leave the drop-off station so they can make place for a new train, but of course if they don't have anywhere to go because no cargo is available for pickup, we need them to leave. And that is basically then the command, hey, go to a depot and chill there, like these trains down here. They're all just chilling in our depot stations, waiting for something to happen. Like this fellow here. Too slow with the click. And yeah, they're just waiting for something to happen, and the system will automatically, you see a little flickering here from time to time. It checks, is there any train station that needs something picked up? And if so, then they leave the depot. So that's kind of an important note. For this train system to work, you need a lot of trains. You should have at least one train per pickup station. Let's follow this train. I'm assuming it's going to an iron pickup because or iron ore pickup because it changed color to blue. That is modded, by the way. So yeah, so you want a lot of trains in your network so that you have at least one train per pickup station and then a couple extra, just so that everything is fine. Here's something different here. In this station, because it's an iron mine really far away, we increased the train limit to 2, so 2 trains can sit here waiting, just so that we reduce our waiting time. It's not the most beautiful train stacker that you can imagine, but it does its job. And again, this is fine if the iron ore is currently not needed, having 2 trains here sitting and waiting to deliver it when it's needed is great. We just need to have enough trains on the network so that this doesn't become a problem. But trains are cheap, right? I think that is not a good argument to say, oh, you need extra trains. That's fine. One last thing to mention, of course, is this only works in this case for this specific train. So we have a separate train group for the fluid trains or the liquid trains here, 26 trains done. It's basically the same stuff, the same interrupts. So you can actually reuse the idle and the refueling interrupt. The one thing you have to change on the cargo drop, in this case fluid drop interrupt, is using a different green placeholder instead of the item placeholder, the fluid placeholder. And then the trains will know where to go. The other thing we have in this specific playthrough on this specific planet is, for example, for our sciences, we're using single trains because, otherwise it takes so long to fill up a double train. You could, of course, always produce more. So this is then also its own separate group with the one-time stations. And then also, instead of going to the pickup X2, they go to pickup X1, so these station names will then be renamed accordingly. You don't have to worry about the drop-off stations, because based on the item, you know if this is an item you deliver with double train cars or single train cars. And that's really all there is to it. So for most of our trains, we have that very, very simple schedule that just has item pickup ×2, and then we activate it, and it will automatically know what to do. So in this case, again, this is a new train just put on the tracks. It knows how it needs to refuel, so it goes to a refueling station. And then same thing, if there's nowhere to pick up, it should go to a depot to not block the refueling station. Unless we have no more depot spots available. Maybe I put too many trains on the network. Yeah, that could be an issue. Well, that's the showcasing for you. Alright, now it looks like a depot spot just got available, so now it's going there. So even if for a few seconds you kind of overloaded the system, it's kind of self-correcting in a way. So now it goes to a nice depot spot in a wait position and waits for some cargo that needs to be picked up. And there it goes. What change the color of the train to green, so I'm guessing it's going to a uranium mine. Yeah, so I mean the explanation is basically done. I'm just showcasing a little bit how this all actually works in action. And yeah, there we go. Picks that up. And again, the train station here has a limit when it becomes available, how many trains can come. In this case, now apparently we have nowhere to deliver the uranium to. That's fine. The mine will continue to fill the chests, and the train is sitting here until the uranium is needed. For example, at our centrifuge area. So we could see here, we have set it up. If there's less than 2,000 in these chests, bring in a new train. We could just, for demonstration purposes, change this to 6,000. And bam, the train we were just looking at immediately starts into action. Because this station just said, hey, I need a uranium train. And so the train will come over here, unload, and then bugger off again. And keep in mind, though, I know our stations are not the most efficient when it comes to loading or unloading and everything. This is not about that. There's a lot of things we could design better, but this train system is really simple. It's really automatic, and it's just a fun thing to watch spring into action. Like you paste down in a factory, a copy of a factory, and the trains automatically come and bring material, pick up the products, and everything's super easy. And that is also the same system we basically use on every single planet. Vulcanus. Hey. I had to pick up one. This game, we called it pick up solid Vulcanus. And it picks it up and drives it around. Here's a train currently delivering tungsten ore, I'm assuming. It's too fast. Yeah. And a train of carbon coming in. And everything, you know, without having to set up any schedules, without having to set up any specific routes, just throw 40 trains on the network and they will do it automatically. Alright, I hope this brings a little bit insight on how we have our train system, and you know, next time somebody asks this on the stream, we can just link this video. For now, I'm gonna put a cut in here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.